People just can't get enough of their new mattress. Honey? At Raymore and Flanagan, you'll get free next-day mattress delivery 7 days a week.
A real-life Clark Griswold took on his homeowners organization and their war on Christmas, and he won.
An Idaho family originally coming under fire for this incredible display of some 200,000 lights.
Wow. A federal jury ruling that the HOA, the Homeowners Association, was hostile towards his celebration of Christian beliefs, including from before the family had even closed on the home that they wanted to buy.
So here to explain is that homeowner, Jeremy Morris of Hayden, Ohio. Jeremy, welcome. So tell us just...
Good morning. It's actually Hayden, Idaho.
Idaho. Sorry, that's okay. Our fault.
Our fault. Sorry about that. All right. So tell us about the Homeowners Association. Why do you think they came out against having your display? Do you think they were anti-Christian, or did they just not want people coming from other neighborhoods to see this display all the time during the Christmas season?
You know, the HOA made their intentions very clear. First, what they did is they sent my family a certified letter. Mm-hmm. And in that letter, I will quote from it. They said, "And finally, I'm hesitant to bring up the fact that some of our residents are non-Christians." In another draft, they actually used the word avowed atheists. And, quote, "we can't even imagine the problems that would bring up," end quote.
Jeremy, let me just put that on the screen. That letter you've got, I'm sorry to interrupt, just real quick so we can show that letter. Here is what you're referring to, the letter to you. It says, "I am somewhat hesitant in bringing up the fact that some of our residents are non-Christians or of another faith, and I don't even want to think of the problems that could bring up." That's what you're referring to, correct?
Yeah, what's that illusion? I don't even think of the problems that could bring up.
Right, exactly. And, you know, one of the things that we thought was, if you can imagine the Fair Housing Act, which protects has seven protected categories, and each of those categories really receives the same level of protection. So if you can imagine, for example, if the exact same phrase said, that we're hesitant to bring up the fact that, there's white people in our neighborhood, or, fill in the blank, whatever
right.
group,
Mm-hmm.
you can imagine that would be obviously very, for certain, illegal. But they went one step further. What they actually did is they then contacted the seller, because, of course, this was before we purchased the home, and they basically told the seller, and the seller testified before a federal court that they, quote, didn't want our beliefs pressed on others in the neighborhood. So anyone who doubts that the war on Christmas, or as I like to call it, the war on Christians, is real in this country, they could just look to my case for proof of that.
Absolutely. You've said that this process has been a nightmare for your family. So fighting and winning takes money, it takes time, it takes pressure. Your neighbors having adamant opinions. How did you stick to your principles when so many people were probably saying, "Hey, just back down"?
You know, you're exactly right. There were a lot of people that said that, and I'll confess that my wife and I even prayed about this. I happen to be an attorney. And even being an attorney, that was a question. Do we really want to, spend the time and huge amount of resources to do this? And what we concluded was that's exactly the reason we have to do this. Because if I, in the position that I'm in, with the legal means to do something about it, don't do something about it. What does that say for any other American who finds themselves in this situation? Yeah. If my family doesn't fight this, then why would any other family?
Sure.
Good for you for fighting for that.
Yeah, good for you, Jeremy. We see the Christmas tree in the background. You got a red Christmas sweater. By the way, we reached out for the record to the HOA, but have not yet received a response. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Have a great Christmas. Thank you very much.
Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to all of you.
You've earned your win. And he's so right. No, if you're in that position and you don't throw down, then the person who isn't will get run over, and pretty soon you lose your ability to have religious freedom in this country.
I love that he says it's not the war on Christmas, it's the war on Christians.
I think it's very true.